Hello everybody, so today I'm going to be doing a mule deer guide for Silver Ridge Peaks, and I want to real quickly just note that I do not know every location on Silver Ridge Peaks, but I know a very good amount of them. So I will be showing you guys today as many of them as I possibly can, and for the ones that I don't know, I will try to update as I find them, but this should be the majority of them. I'm going to include a map right now. You guys can get a good look at kind of all the locations that we're going to be going to, because I won't be able to go to all of them within the amount of time that we have for Mule Deer Drink Time, because you do need to set your time to about 9 a.m. in the morning, and as you can see, 9 to 10:30 for this particular zone up here, but it does vary. Some are 9:30 to 10:30, there's even a few that are 9:30 to 10, so very short drinking windows here on Silver Ridge Peaks, but it's what we have to work with, so it's what we're going to have to try to hunt. But anyway, today I'm going to be using the M1 as our primary gun that we're going to be taking them out with. It's the most efficient. Obviously you can use other guns like the 30-06 or the 270 or the 7mm is a really good one too. So, you know, whatever gun you want to use, you can go ahead and use, but the M1 is going to be the most efficient for if you're trying to grind for a diamond mule deer, because I know a lot of people will be trying to get their TruRACS Mule Deer when they come out, since they will be released with the Silver Ridge Peaks on console. So yeah, I hope this video helps everybody out, and let's head over to our first spot. So I actually forgot, our first spot is actually right where we currently are, right at this lodge. You can get mule deer along this little lake here. They're not here at the moment because it is only 8:55, it is before their drink time, but you can get them along this little lake here. And we actually have a mating call from one that is right there. So they are traveling here, but they drink along this little lake, so this is always a good spot to check. It is pretty close to the starter lodge. The starter lodge is right here, so you can just go up here and get some mule deer. And in fact, the lakes that are closer to the lodge also have mule deer, and that is where we're going to go next. So you have these two lakes, they have tons of mule deer. What you would usually want to do is kill between 2 and 4 bucks and then move to the next zone in order to get as many of them down for respawns as you can. If you have the tripods DLC, be sure to put up a tripod, that way you can kill more than just 4 bucks, or more than just 3 bucks I should say. If you kill 4, it will delete the zone if you don't have the stands. But when you have the stands, you can kill 15 before it'll actually delete the zone. So be sure to put up stands if you have them. But this is another really good lake for mule deer. I actually got a diamond mule deer earlier today on my live stream at this exact lake. So it is a very, very good lake. And like I was saying before, they're not quite here yet because of the time. But this is a pretty good lake. They drink right here. They also drink on the opposite side over here. So it's a very good lake to get mule deer at. And once again, it's right here next to the starter lodge, so it's very accessible for pretty much everybody. This lake right here, it's been a while since I've actually seen them drink here. I myself don't actually have a drinking zone here, but it's a zone that I know exists because I've seen it from other people's live streams and videos. But as you can see, this lake right here, it's just up from the lodge. I have a tent clear up here so that I can access it easily. But if I remember correctly, the mule deer can drink kind of on this shore right here. And then they can also drink on that side. I believe that's the only spots over here. You also get them feeding and resting over here quite often. In fact, we have one right there. So there is a mule deer coming in, as you guys can see. But yeah, that's about it for this lake. There's really only a couple spots as far as I know here. So I don't think there's any of this lake. And I haven't been able to find any of these two, but correct me in the comments if you guys have seen them here, because I don't know. I know they're not here, and they're not at here. You can get them right here, so we're gonna go here next, because I have found mule deer at this location a few different times. If I remember correctly, they drink on this opposite bank from us, and they can also be kind of like right over there. There might be a few other locations. They do kind of swap around based on each person's map, because no two maps are going to be the same. Everybody's going to have zones that are slightly different, so if I have some zones that you don't, it could just be that your map doesn't have those, and vice versa. But pretty much all these lakes have quite a bit of other animals at them, so you're going to be finding more than just mule deer when you hunt here. Because pronghorn actually drink at the same time, so while you're grinding for mule deer, you'll be finding some pronghorn too, which is always nice, because the pronghorn are a very cool animal. One of my favorite species on this map. But right over here is where the mule deer drink. They kind of drink on this whole little shoreline, and you can see we got one coming in right now. And I've also seen them drink, well, actually right there, we got a little level 3 who is resting next to the drinking zone. But I have seen them drinking right there. Okay, so I think we actually will have enough time to go to every single lake that I know of within the drinking time to kind of show it off. So we will be able to hit all of them as far as I can tell, because we've only spent around 18 minutes, and we're already about halfway through. But this right here is going to be one of your better lakes. I've seen quite a few mule deer here, including a pretty big dilute, so that's pretty cool. But as you can see, they drink right there. I believe they can drink on the opposite side also. In fact, we have one right there. So they do have at least 2 drinking zones around this lake. And I've always had quite a bit of good luck with them at this lake, so this is one of the ones that you will for sure want to check out. If you don't check out a lot of them, make sure you at least check out this one. And then next, I believe, would be this lake. I've actually not been able to confirm recently if mule deer drink here, but I would assume that since there's a couple zones here, there's probably a couple here. Same goes for this one right here. I'm pretty sure it has them, but like I was saying, I haven't been able to confirm because I haven't seen them here personally, but I do believe they can be there. So next we're going to go just up the road a bit to this lodge, because we do have some mule deer zones around it. There we go, there is a level 4 mule deer. We're actually going to take this guy out because I do need to get him down for respawns. So if he stops, we'll take a shot. Should take care of him. But anyway, now that we've taken care of that mule deer, they do drink right there, as you can see. And then I've also seen them on the opposite side of the lake, kind of over in this little corner. So if you're looking at the map, right over here and right here are both very good zones. And it looks like we actually didn't hit that mule deer very good, so that's unfortunate. I probably let it just a tiny bit too much. But if we can find that other level 4, we'll go ahead and take a shot at him. There he is. Let's take him out before he runs away. Alright, so that one is for sure gonna die. Much better shot on him compared to the previous one. Alright, here we go. Here's that level 4 mule deer. It looks like this one is the blonde variation. Yes, it is indeed. 371.30. Nice little level 4 buck. You always want to get the level 4s down as much as you can, because they're going to be the best for respawns. There's a couple different methods that you can use to get your respawns to spawn in as diamonds. One of the more common ones being to only shoot level 4 and level 5 animals, and to kind of leave the level 2s and 3s. Another method is to just shoot every single deer you see. I don't see that method used nearly as much, but I have seen it work before, so it really depends on what method you think is going to be best for you, because the bright side to doing the one that requires you to shoot everything is you could also get some rares to spawn in the process. As you can see, we got quite a few mule deer here. This lake's actually really good. It looks like this zone is kind of split up between 2 groups though. As far as I can tell, there's 2 different herds. Or the same herd, but they've kind of split up. But anyway, let's head over to this lake right here now. This is also a very good one. Alright, so before these guys run away, this is one of the zones that they drink here, which is right on this little corner, and it's at this lake right here. You do have a lodge that you can actually go to. I have a tent over here because I actually do like hunting it from this side of the lake, but if you're targeting mule deer, you'll probably want to use the lodge. Yeah, they drink on this side, and they also drink over here, which is directly across. And if I remember correctly, I've seen them resting and feeding over on this side. So there's actually quite a few locations at this lake that you can get mule deer. It's a very, very good spot. Probably one of my favorites. But next we're going to go to a couple of my all-time favorite mule deer hunting spots on this map, and that being these two lakes at the top, and this lake right here, and this lake right here. I think we're going to go to this one first and check these out. One of the other really good things about grinding for mule deer is you happen to be at the same drink time as mountain goats. So you get a chance to take out some of your mountain goats while you're taking out your mule deer. So it can work in your favor quite well for getting respawns. But over here, the mule deer drink on this side, as you can see, and I believe they can be at this end also. I don't have any there at the moment, but ooh, they can also be on this side, it looks like. So right here and right over here. I believe that this is the first time I've had one this close to me. But that's good to know. That's a zone I did not know about before, so always happy to find more. But as you can see, there's 2 drinking zones at this lake. And as of now, it looks like I only have does at them. Actually, we got one little buck right there. That gives you an idea of what to expect from this lake. I've got 2 drinking zones. There could be more, because as I've said at the beginning of this video, everybody's map is a little bit different. And one person might have a certain set of zones, while another person might have a completely opposite set of zones. So anyway, next we're going to be heading down to the lake right next to it. If I remember right, there's also 2 different drink zones for them down here. The only problem is there's a lot of mountain lions also, so it can be very difficult to actually get them without them getting spooked by the mountain lions, so that's the one downside, unfortunately. Alright, so we are now at this lake, and as you can see, we got some mule deer right there, along with some elk and bighorn. And there is some more mule deer. So you have mule deer drinking on this side. You have mule deer drinking right over here. And I believe they can be on this corner over here also. Ooh. Ooh, that's an albino. Let's go ahead and kill that before it gets away. Oh my gosh. Wow, it has been so long since I've found an albino mule deer. That is crazy. I'm glad that I was able to get one though. I think the last time I killed one of these was on the old scoring system. That was quite some time ago, so that's really cool to find. It's unfortunate that this is one of the smaller ones. But we got it, and that's all that matters. That is awesome. What a beautiful animal. Let's go ahead and claim this. That was awesome. I can't believe we actually found an albino. I'm super happy to find this. Go ahead and get a screenshot of him and taxidermize him for our lodge. That is really cool. Of course, when I'm actually doing a guide for mule deer, we end up finding something cool. The only thing I had found cool for mule deer when I was actually farming them was I got 1 diamond at that lake that I was talking about earlier, but hadn't really found anything else on the grind. That is pretty awesome. But now let's get back to where we were. You got a zone there, you have the zone directly across, and then you have the zone on this corner. That's the only zones you have at this lake, which is honestly a lot. It's a very good amount of zones, so I definitely recommend going to this lake and the one above it. Next up, we have a couple more lakes that are actually very, very good also. We have this one right here, which the lodge is relatively close, but it's still a little bit of a walk. So you will have to take a few minutes to walk over to the lake. Alright, so we're finally getting up to this lake over here. And if I remember correctly, there actually is some mule deer that drink on this near shore. But you can't see them when you're coming over here. The only time I ever see these mule deer is when they spook off and run this way. They tend to kind of go along the lake. So you will see them when they run along, but if you want to actually get a good sight on them, you're going to have to kind of loop around. Or put a tent somewhere over there. Would probably also be pretty useful. Because there is quite a few of them that go here to drink. Along with ones across, as you can see right here. They're actually eating now, but this is a drinking zone too. They drink right around the same area. But yeah, as I was saying, we got the zone that's really close to us. Then we have the zone that's over here. I don't know if there's any other zones at this lake. I think there might be, but I can't confirm any other zones. But I have a feeling that there's one over here. I have a feeling that there's one over there. But here we go. Here's that mule deer from the near drinking zone. So we have at least 2 zones here, and I believe there's a third. So this is, as I said, a pretty good spot. Definitely worth coming to for sure. And this is the only issue with it, as you can see. Tons of mountain lions. But I think what we'll do next is we'll go to the last lake on my list, which is this lake right here. This one is just an all-around good lake. Not just for mule deer, but for pretty much everything else also. Pretty much any of the species that are up in the north will be at this lake. We got mule deer right there. As you can see, it's past their drink time, so they are eating. But you find them over here. You find them on the near shore. You find them over there too, I believe, if I remember correctly. But yeah, this is a pretty awesome lake. A lot of different zones for mule deer. Actually want to get a look at this guy again and see what level he was. Okay, so he's only a 3, so we'll let him live. I'm trying to just kill the level 4s, as I said earlier. Yeah, I think that's about it. I think that's all of the lakes. I'm pretty sure we've shown off all of them. Like I was saying, they could be at these lakes right here, but I just personally don't have any there. But I do believe that they can also be there, so you can check those if you'd like to. I'll get a better look at them. This one right here, this one right here, and this one right here are questionable ones. I feel like they could have mule deer, but as of now, I don't have any. Oh, and there actually is one that I forgot to go to, so I guess we could head to that now. It's this lake right here. This is also a pretty good lake. I've had tons of mule deer around this area, not just in their drinking zones, but they also eat in bed really close to this lake. So it's a very good one to go to because there's a pretty wide open field. And as you can see, there's lots of pronghorn too. But I've seen the mule deer feeding out here, and that's a really big level 4. Yeah, that's really big. Let me calculate the score. This could be close to diamond. I think this is diamond. Let's go ahead and take this pronghorn out, because that's going to be really close to diamond. That was a nice surprise. Well, as I was saying, mule deer can drink there. They can drink over on this side of the lake. I haven't been able to confirm any other locations, but those 2 locations, you know, between the 2 will usually have 2 herds, which gets you a decent amount of mule deer. But let's go up to that pronghorn. I'm really curious as to if this is going to make diamond. If my calculations are correct, it's going to be right on 98, which is the diamond score. So it's just going to be a matter of if it's slightly below or slightly above, because it's hard to tell because there is the hidden decimal in the score that makes it hard to estimate when they're perfectly on it. But as you can see right here, with what I was talking about earlier, this field right here is fantastic for pretty much everything, including mule deer. You can just find a ton of them in here during their feeding and bedding times. Well, here we go. Here is that pronghorn. It's a good looking one. This one is going to be very close, though. It's hard to tell if this is actually going to be diamond or not. It is a diamond. Alright, so that's awesome. 98.60. We'll go ahead and tax that. I think that's the 4th diamond pronghorn that we have in our lodge, so that's pretty cool. And this is the first level 4 diamond I've ever killed for the pronghorn. As far as I know, these aren't super common to get level 4 diamonds from. So that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool indeed. Get a quick screenshot of him. Yeah, it's a really cool rack on him too. I like how one's curled in really heavily, and the other not so much. It's a very unique rack. And this one's got a really large cutter, and this one's got a pretty small cutter, so that's also really cool. Yeah, that's awesome. Definitely awesome to find, and at the very last lake we check out too. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. I hope everybody enjoyed this little guide, and I will see you all in the next video. If you are new here and you are liking what you see, consider subscribing to the channel and turning notifications on. Also, if you want to help the channel grow, be sure to like the video because this alone can help the video and my channel do better. But that's going to be it for me. Peace, my dudes. I hope you all have a fantastic day.